run it. Hit the field, blast off, watch them all fall. This is AFC North talk. Got me hype, it's about to be a touchdown. Got the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, and the Browns. Are you listening? It's time to get it hype. Tune in when the season poppin'. Yeah, we going live. Hey, knock 'em out. Ay, first down, going hard. Yes, indeed. AFC North talk. Let's go. Hey, AFC North talk.
Welcome to another edition of AFC North Talk. Here we are Q's about coming before everybody started. Where's Q? Q's coming. We have a couple of super chats that will lead us right into this. The 188. He was a Steelers fan, if I remember correctly. While I stand by the decision to trade Flacco, Tomlin is actually right in his critique about helping a division rival. Browns doing Brownsing things.
I read it more as like Tomlin just being pissed that he has to play Flacco instead of Jake Browning, which like I get it. But at the same time, watching that and just seeing how like clearly pissed he is about having to play Joe Flacco, like I understand, like you played him a lot in the past, but like it's not Joe Montana, dude. It's Joe Flacco. Like it'll be all right. Hopefully it'll be all right.
I think from my perspective, I get where he's coming from because I kind of was wondering the same thing because Joe Flacco is clearly better than Jake Browning. Like it's not like you're giving them an elite quarterback, but you're definitely giving us a life raft to at least be able to possibly, recover the season. Whereas with Jake Browning, it was over. Like Jake Browning is career, like seasons on life support. It's a wrap. There's nobody there that they could bring in. They didn't have any options on the waiver wire. So I get where he's coming from. From Cleveland, I kind of get it because you needed to move on for Joe Flacco and get something from him. But I think when you're moving and you're talking about late round picks, like I don't know about their track record. I know they had a great draft this season, but moving those pieces, if it does end up helping the Bengals, then I can understand where Tomlin's coming from. But again, like I thought I was shocked when it happened because I didn't think that it would be the Browns helping the Bengals out. But I get why he's furious about it, and obviously he has respect for Joe Flacco, right? He doesn't look at this as some 40-year-old washed quarterback. He has a tremendous amount of respect for him. You even think about the AFC North, the HBO series Hard Knocks, right? And he was like, "We don't want to get Anthony Richardson hurt, so that Joe Flacco comes in and is able." So I think he just has a tremendous amount of respect for him. So when the Browns traded him, it's kind of like, yeah, this guy is washed. Like, he's so washed, we're just going to hand him to a division rival, I think is what he was thinking.
He also says, worst 4-1 team, please get off the drugs. By the way, that's in the description. It's in the description. It's in the
Oh, you did? Oh, that's Sonny.
Description.
That's all Sonny. That's not me.
It's all in the description before people start hating. In the description. Okay.
Oh, God, Q's
can't hear you, Q.
We can't hear you, bub.
That's Q. Q wasn't talking.
He was trying to.
Oh, okay. So he's working on his mic. So, by the way, we had to after reviewing, we had to do a quick recap of that game because that's a Thursday night game, the Unk Ball, as people are calling it.
Oh, yeah, it's the Unk Ball for sure.
Yeah, so the oldest matchup for quarterbacks ever was Brady and Breeze in the playoff game. Was combined 85 years old. Flacco and Rodgers are 81 years old combined. So
they're spring chicken.
It's flirting with the oldest quarterback battle of all time.
I'm surprised there wasn't one featuring Vinny Testaverde. I'm showing my age there, but Vinny Testaverde.
Vinny played forever.
Yeah, Vinny was there for a minute. Okay, so with that, let's talk about the Bengals and Packers. I can't believe the Packers don't feel like a one loss / tie.
They were just being talked about as like Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah,
so no.
They haven't been playing like that. I mean, they beat the Lions. That was great opening the year, but the Bengals definitely struggle out of the get-go in this game offensively. Then Flacco said, "Okay, what should I do? Let me just throw to Uno. Good things might happen."
Even if Zac Taylor calls a different play, Jamar's going to say, "Actually, Joe, let's run this instead."
Yeah, Joe's there calling the play, and Jamar's like, "Nah, y'all. You see me here. If you see the safety over the top, then look for T. But if not, I'm getting the ball."
That's not going to work for me, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it was if you're a Bengals fan, it's encouraging to see some progression as the game. I mean, obviously you didn't win the game, right? I'm not here trying to gaslight nobody, but
Yeah.
if you're trying to salvage the season, and more and more, I think the AFC North will have only one winner, which will be the division winner. And for either the Bengals or the Ravens to be the division winner, they have to sweep the Steelers. I mean, because the Steelers are building a cushion. You see some progression that gives you some hope for this Thursday night matchup, Ace. At least that's when I was watching the game. I was like, you know what? It started like, oh my god, this offense is still. But then as the game built on, as the game built on, you're like, okay, I see some movement. And look, the other thing is, for all the shit we give in the preseason, or in the offseason, the defense holding his own. The defense is not the problem. Like, if you had a competent offense, your defense is actually playing fairly well. I know. I haven't checked. I didn't check. Henderson. If I know he left the game, correct?
Yeah, he had a back injury, didn't play in the second half.
So I don't know the status for Thursday.
This week.
He's day to day. He's supposed to be day to day. So we'll see. He's played with injuries. We'll have to see. I know they're expecting Shamar Stewart back, so that could be a sign that Trey might not play. But apparently, he avoided any kind of long-term injury or anything super dangerous.
Okay. Well, Ace, tell me, what do you thought about the game?
Yeah, the first half was frustrating. I mean, from a defensive perspective, it wasn't. I think that the defense stood up. The offense was on the field for 2 minutes in the first quarter. That is insane. God. And somehow the defense was able to hold this Packers team at home scoreless. They were able to get a turnover. I think it's the exact opposite of last year, where anytime the Bengals defense really wasn't on the field because they were giving up so many explosive plays in a hurry, right? They were just like, it's just like, we're out there, 80-yard drive done, and the offense was the one being able to carry the load and score and do their thing. This is completely the opposite this year. They are getting nothing from the offense whatsoever. And I get it that Joe Flacco came into a difficult situation, but if you were watching that game, the play calling was just atrocious. And people were just like, okay, yeah, you could change the quarterback, but if you don't change the play caller, that's going to continue to be an issue. And it's no coincidence that in the second half, Jamar Chase was like, nope, we're not running what Zac Taylor just called. I'm running my own route. I'm going rogue. I'm doing what I need to do. And honestly, if you've been a Bengals fan, even when they've had Joe Burrow, right, it seems like the offense is just amazing because Joe Burrow has these plays where he goes off script, right, and he makes these plays, and everybody's like, oh, the Bengals offense. The only time the Bengals offense makes a play, for the most part, is off script. Like, that is the Bengals offense. Like, whatever they call, whatever Zac Taylor calls, it's never open, dog. I don't know what people are seeing on film, but it's like obvious where they're going. When it comes to receivers routes, they're never open. When you look at a lot of the film, they're never open. He's not a type of person that can scheme someone open. I get so jealous when I watch other teams and guys are running wide open. I never see that on the Bengals. It's Jamar Chase is there. There's a guy draped over him, and guess what? He's just going to jump over him and make a play. Or he's going to make a play in front of two defenders like he did with the own play that he drew up himself. Like, that's what the Bengals offense is. So when it comes to Zac Taylor, it's still super predictable. I look at the opening script. It was horrible. It was reverse to Jamar Chase for like -3 yards. It was another run. And then the next thing you know, that they're off the field. And there was a lot of that in the first half where it's like, bro, what are they doing? And there were no deep shots to Jamar Chase. I haven't seen deep shots in a while. I'm not surprised that Jamar Chase was just like, hey, I'm going to call a deep shot for myself. Because at certain points, Zac Taylor, it was just like, dog, this is the worst play caller in the league. And I've been saying that for years. Whether Joe Burrow is there or not, he's still the worst play caller in the NFL. He has no feel for the game. And you saw that in the first half. And I just felt bad for the defense because it's like, damn, they are making plays. They are doing what they need to do. And this offense is giving them nothing. Second half, like you said, Sonny, Bengals are down 10-0. They finally start to get some things going offensively, because it seems like, Joe Flacco is starting to get comfortable. He, like you just said, throw the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. He tried to go to Andre Iosivas. Andre Iosivas had a horrible game this game. It was like 4 drops that he should not have dropped whatsoever. And at that point, it was just like Flacco was just like, all right, it's Jamar Chase and it's T. Higgins. And for a guy that's played for how long he has, hearing him in the post game talk about Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and their ability to just be able to pluck the ball, he was being wild during the game while he was throwing to him. Offense showed signs of life, but the defense, really the defense didn't even have to play the third quarter. Flacco had this 10-minute drive that literally took like all of the third quarter itself, right? So that helped them out from that standpoint. But with no Trey Hendrickson on the field, the pass rush was completely gone. And you could see that Jordan Love, whatever they did at halftime, because in the first half, Jordan Love was erratic. He was taking too much time to get the ball out of there. And it was clear in the second half that Matt LaFleur was like, no, you throw the ball as soon as it snapped, get it out of there. They saw something. I don't know what it was that they saw. I don't know if it was the fact that Trey Hendrickson was gone and they were like everybody else's food because they have zero pass rush without him. But that's what they immediately started going to. And Cam Taylor-Britt got exposed. Like, I haven't been a big Cam Taylor-Britt guy. I've quietly criticized him a lot. Before the season started, I said, I don't know about this guy long-term in terms of giving him a contract. I've always been a DJ Turner guy. With DJ Turner, I know that he's a guy that's going to be in position. It's just, is he going to be able to make the deflection, or is he going to allow the receiver to catch the ball? With CTB, he has just been food, dog. He's been food. Whenever somebody finds him in this game, he's food. He's Drake Kirkpatrick back on the Bengals. People are straight up targeting him at this point on purpose because they know that he cannot cover anyone. And 3rd and 9, I go to that. You don't put the entire game on one play, but there was a 3rd and 9 where the Bengals just really needed them to make a stop to get the ball back to the offense. He gets beat on the 3rd and 9, and you're looking like, man. But shout out to DJ Turner because he had 5 pass deflections in this game. He clearly was the Bengals' best corner in this one. But for him and Geno Stone having good games, Jordan Battle had a bad game. CTB had a bad game. So that contributed to the defense in this one. The biggest thing, though, and I just actually dropped the story on this on Bleacher Report. Logan Wilson was benched in this game. He did not play anything but special teams in this game. Bengals went with the youth movement at linebacker. I was wondering when they drafted Barrett Carter in the draft, I was just like, dog, why are we drafting 2 linebackers? I know we need 1 linebacker, but why are we wasting a pick on a second one? Because I wanted another corner. I felt like there were other positions of need that they could have used. But Barrett Carter played really well in this game. Him and Demetrius Knight, those 2 guys look like the plan at the linebacker position. So does that mean that we're going to possibly trade Logan Wilson now? Because now you're sitting in a situation, if you're going to play these young rookies, if you're going to play them because you feel like Logan Wilson may have lost a step, then you need to figure out what you're going to do with that. So that was the interesting thing, I think, from the defense. They weren't able to stop anything. I talked about it. Week 1, I told Sonny, I said, look, bro, there's no context to giving up 17 points in the 4th quarter. That's what the Bengals defense did. There's no context to that. They gave up 17 points. Whether Trey Hendrickson is there or not, you can't give up 17 points in the 4th quarter after holding these guys scoreless in the 1st quarter, holding them scoreless in the 3rd quarter, primarily due to the offense having the ball. Then you let them find their groove. And by then, Josh Jacobs was killing you. Josh Jacobs started killing us in this game at the end. The Bengals could not stop the run whatsoever. Even though he didn't get 100 yards, that 86 yards that he had felt like 150. I'm sorry. It felt like 150 while that game was going on because he was getting whatever he wanted at that point in the game. And to me, the Bengals just ran out of time. Like, you can't go a whole first half scoreless and expect to be in the game. And then there was the goofy thing before halftime where Zac Taylor is attempting a 67-yard field goal that McPherson makes, but because you had a time issue, it doesn't count, and then you have to kick it again, and then you're laughing? Like, bro, where are you right now? Your offense is ass. You have sucked this whole entire half play calling, and you're sitting here laughing. It was frustrating to see from that standpoint. Flacco was the only thing that really kind of cheered me up in this game. Him being able to get the ball to Jamar Chase showing signs of life. The fact that Jamar Chase is openly telling in the media that, hey, I called this play myself. I love that crazy as well. That was the chef's kiss. I was like, thank you for talking about how bad this guy is as a play caller. So I do feel like I have more faith in the offense. It's actually watchable now. They can actually do something now. Whereas with Jake Browning, there was no shot with Jake Browning whatsoever. It'll be interesting to see how this continues into Thursday night. However, this isn't going to be a context game for the Bengals if they lose this one. This is a must win that they have coming up on Thursday. If they do not win this game, I think they are done. I think that they're cooked. I think it's over. So must win for them coming up. Competitive game with the Packers. They were in it more than I thought that they should be after an abysmal first half. We need more of that second half from this offense going forward instead of them doing this whole we're not going to score anything in the first half, and then the second half we decide to score. And they only scored 18 points. So it's not like they did something like drop 20 or something like that. They're going to need to definitely be more consistent on offense, and they're going to have to be able to call better plays and not be anemic on offense. Defense, I can't really of course they gave up to 17 in the fourth quarter, but they did enough for this team to try to win the game and be in it. The offense dropped the ball, and Zac Taylor dropped the ball on offense from a play calling perspective, which is one of the reasons why, certain people aren't pulling up with people like Brian Callahan. That's why he doesn't have a job anymore, because some of these guys are just not really good when it comes to play calling.
Jared,
Is your mic muted?
Sorry, yeah, my bad. Jared?
Oh, okay. Yeah, defensively, I thought Cincinnati did a pretty okay job in the first half. It was only 10-0 at halftime. And then second half, it felt like Matthew Golden was just gashing them. He only had 3 catches, but he averaged damn near 30 yards a catch. So it was a big day for him. Certainly, I mean, looking at Matthew Golden so far, probably his best day as a pro so far. And it looked like they were specifically targeting, hey, if Cam Taylor-Britt is in coverage, Matthew Golden has the speed, especially side to side, to be able to beat that. So I thought that they had a planned attack there. Outside of that, no receivers really killed them too much. Romeo Doubs went 5 for 55. Tucker Kraft did have the big catch and run where he dragged a couple Bengals into the end zone. But for the most part, I thought Cincinnati did an okay job of limiting Green Bay offensively. And the Packers, this is a young team that are still figuring out how to win consistently. And they don't have a ton of veterans. So I think that the Bengals had a little bit of an advantage there, just from a personnel standpoint of, guys who have been there a little bit longer and know what it takes to win in the NFL a little bit more. The Packers, youngest team in the NFL, obviously very explosive, very good, but maybe don't understand sometimes you can't really take teams lightly, and Cincinnati kept it close because of that. Second half, I thought Flacco and the offense looked much better, and I think a lot of that was just to be like, I'm just going to throw it up to these two dudes, and if they make plays, great. If not, there's not really anybody else on the offense who's going to take this game over. So the catch by Chase for the touchdown, where it was a 50-50 ball, he catches it basically with one arm and his shoulder.
Yeah,
that was pretty. Flacco hit T. Higgins in the red zone to get down to the goal line as well. And I think that set up the Tanner Hudson touchdown. So there were some good things to take away from it. And now on a short week, they have the benefit of being the home team on a Thursday night and playing a Steelers team that historically isn't very good on Thursday night. So I'm very nervous. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm going to try to be as optimistic as possible about it, but historically Pittsburgh not great on Thursday night, being the road team. Mike Tomlin has never won a road divisional Thursday night game. So history isn't looking good for the Steelers in that game coming up, but there are some positives to take away from things for Cincinnati. And yeah, it was pretty easy to see that Flacco was an upgrade at quarterback. Now it's just a matter of putting things together, getting to whatever they think their magic number is win-wise before Burrow gets back. And, if they're still mathematically alive when he's able to come back, then he did a job well done.
Cute.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big picture game for the Bengals, right? The short-term picture, I mean, you're happy that the offense shows some life in the second half, but I think I like what I've seen people make of it is a bit much. I think it's just the contrast from how they looked in the first half to what they looked like in the second half that's really getting people excited. If you actually look at it in a vacuum, 18 points and a half, I mean, it's normal stuff, right? It's not really that crazy, especially when you have Jamar and Joe there. They're still throwing Joe Flacco 45 times, right? Like that was an issue in Cleveland, how many times he had to throw. You have to wonder how many of these. Well, he had 50 pass attempts. He was averaging 50 in Cleveland before he got traded. So he has a lot of attempts on his arm already, and he's old. And look, that might not bother you until later in the season, and maybe by the time it does, you get Joe Burrow back, and that'd be good, right? Certainly was better than Jake Browning was prior to this, right?
Yep.
So understand why they make the trade there. Still some of the things that concern you about the offense are still there. The lack of commitment to the run game. Why are you running the ball 45 times throwing the ball 45 times when Chase Brown's actually running the ball pretty well? I don't know. But that's what they decide to stick with. Defensively, though, in the big picture, I think things are pretty okay for the Bengals, right? Like that defense looks like it is going to be improved. That first half that they had was pretty impressive. And I thought all the way up until they got to the fourth quarter, they were doing a pretty good job there. They're a young defense. They're going to have some faults. They're going to have some learning moments, but I think the core of what's there is pretty solid, especially in the front seven. And like, I don't know what Bengal fans expect to get out this season. I think at best you can hope for maybe a first round exit as a positive kind of end of the year. Because even when Joe Burrow comes back, he's working back off a pretty significant injury, right? Like you can't just expect him to be JB automatically, right? Like I think that would be an unfair expectation of him. But you know, you go into next year, maybe you have a decent draft pick, maybe you don't. You already have a solid defense. You know you got Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase for the long run. The bones are there for the Bengals to reload and become a serious contender again. So, you know, long-term picture, I walk away from this if you're a Bengals fan, you should feel pretty optimistic about the future. As far as like the short term, how things gonna go with Flacco, you know, this was probably one of the better outcomes you could have gotten with him. 1 sack, right? Like he wasn't really pressured. Well, He was pressured for sure, but only 1 sack, right? He took like 6 his last game in Cleveland, so that's good. In 29-45, it does seem like they're going to lean on him to throw a lot, and I know that at this point of his career, there's going to be some downsides the longer that you go with that, but you know. As for now, for what they need right now, I think it's what they wanted or were hoping to get out of. And I think, you know, long-term wise, I think if you're the Bengals, you feel pretty good about your overall roster right now.
Okay, we have a couple of super chats here. Mike Tomlin has a real fear of Flacco. Why? No idea.
Dude, he has been bitching and moaning about that trade for so long. And it's like, and part of me is like, is this the Mike Tomlin persecution complex thing where he's like, oh, the Browns did this just because I was in first place and they're trying to yank me out. So they made a deal with the Bengals and they're helping the Bengals. Like I can see in Mike Tomlin world, right? In Steeler world, that being what they actually think. Because I don't know how you look at this trade and say to yourself, oh, man, yeah, the Browns are trying to help the Bengals. The Browns are just trying to get rid of a quarterback.
I feel he's just pissed that he has to play Flacco. And he wanted to play Jake Browning.
Which I have to ask this question. How little confidence do you have in your team that makes a difference to you?
I'm saying the same thing. Like and I said it, you know, before you got in. I was like, bro, it's Joe Flacco. It's not Joe Montana. Like,
you stopped Joe Flacco so many times.
They routinely beat like Joe Flacco when he was supposed to be in like the prime of his career, like on a pretty consistent basis. I don't understand why he's gone on about this. It just
he's acting like this is like if the Browns were about to play the Bengals and the Bengals got Big Ben. Like they did. Like, man, that's how he's fucking acting right now. Like you didn't even struggle against this guy at any point of your career. Like
so he's 11. He's 11-11.
Yeah, perfectly 500.
The Steelers, and then 12-13 if you, I guess, account for the playoff, something like that.
Yeah, it's not like you struggled to beat him, right? We're talking about Big Ben level dominance, where Ben lost twice in his career to Cleveland, and that's what Mike Tomlin's acting like. I don't know, Mike Tomlin, he was in a mood this week.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest.
I mean, when he walked off his podium, he told the media, "You guys are annoying me today." Like, all right, dude.
What was up with that?
I don't know, man. Well, to be fair, you know what? I'm going to defend Mike here because. His press conference went longer than it usually does, and like you could tell, I think it's Burt Loudon who does like the is the PR guy that they have there who like kind of controls like how many questions are asked. A few times Burt was trying to like get him out of there, and it went on a little bit longer than it usually does. So I think Mike was just pissed that it went on longer. He doesn't like. No head coach likes talking to the media, so that's not weird or anything.
Why is he giving them fucking juicy quotes if he doesn't want to be out there? That's the thing. Shut the fuck up if you don't want to be out there. Like, everybody knows that you can make the press conference like 2 minutes. Yeah, we're going to do the thing, everything. We just got to work harder, all this. What do you think about the Joe Flacco trade?
The Flacco thing was the only juicy quote he gave, though. That was the thing. Like, he wasn't giving any crazy answers.
Juicy quote, no. That's the thing. You want to go.
It was juicy. You never hear like
story. Everybody's been talking about it all week, and now he's going to answer more questions about this because Jamar Chase has commented on it. Now, what do you think of Jamar Chase's comments or your comments? And it's like, if you want to go, just shut the fuck up. Everybody knows that's what you have to do. Like, just stop. Just don't say anything interesting. Fight the urge. He knows this. He's been a coach for like 20 years.
Yeah. I don't know.
To finish dragging the ambassador's super chat, he said, but Joe haunts that man in his sleep. Joe is Tomlin's sleep paralysis demon.
I don't think that's true. I think his sleep paralysis demon is also the same person he dreams about. It's Tom fucking Brady.
Silent Wolf, shout out to you.
Sonny didn't I know Jared is short for time. I know we want to be respectful of his time as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish with these. Silent Wolf, thank you for
Silent Wolf
becoming a member. 2000s are back. Colts, Steelers, Chargers, Pats, number 1.
Yeah, that is pretty bonkers of what the standings look like right now in the AFC.
Yeah,
very 2006.
There's going to be a lot of comebacks.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm not believing it.
A lot of comebacks. I wouldn't rule anybody out.
And then Rouser here says Browns about to be on to number 42, when number 29 is future MVP.
What?
Okay.
What was that? Is that Baker Mayfield?
Is that Baker?
I
think it was 29.
Baker is number 1 right now in the MVP race. We'll see.
Again, there's going to be a lot of movement. Good for him. Like, honestly, he's playing really well. He's having a great run. I think we go through this with Tampa Bay like every year where they start out incredibly hot, cool down a little bit in the middle of the season, get a little bit hotter at the playoffs. They're a good team. They're on the cusp. They're just like a few things away every year from being a serious contender. So
right now they're just injured all to hell.
You said what?
Right now they're just injured as hell. Like, Tez Johnson.
Yeah, they lost like their entire wide receiver room. It's like,
so hopefully those guys can get help.
Tez Johnson thought they were cheering him.
MVP.
Dude, I immediately a ginormous Tez Johnson fan. That dude is great, hilarious. I love it. They're the most fun team in football right now.
By the way,
they were cheering MVP Q, and he thought that the MVP.
I saw the clip. No, I was on Twitter and people were doing victory laps because Tez Johnson caught a touchdown pass about, the Browns should have drafted him in the 3rd round. I'm like, guys, he caught one fucking pass.
Even Tess is like, I haven't done anything all year.
MVP.
Yeah, he rules. I'm automatically a big Ted Johnson fan.
Fun guy. They're having fun in Tampa Bay, and I think that's why they look so good right now. So good for them, man.
So I'm gonna bump the Ravens to the end so we can do both the recap of Steelers and Browns now, and then we can do preview of the Steelers and Bengals. That way we can have you, Jared, for those two.
Yep.
The Steelers and Browns, that was a game that I was shocked.
That was one of the games in NFL history for sure.
How are you shocked? This is what every Browns Steelers game in Pittsburgh looks like.
I know, but I was hoping that defense had more resistance.
Coming off London? Oh
yeah. But
they're so stupid for scheduling that game then.
We talk about that. How fucked up was that, right? That they make the Steelers are off a bye and the Browns are coming from London. I thought that was
Mike Tomlin felt disrespected by us choosing him to play after the bye week for sure. He pulled his starters with like 14 points up. It was a giant fuck you all week to the Cleveland Browns. Like, he did not appreciate that.
I'll let you go, Q. Go ahead, man.
I mean, this team sucks. I don't know what else to tell you, man. They're not good. Kevin Stefanski just hasn't been there for 2 years, man. Like the guy that we saw be able to make the most out of a little bit, The guy that we thought could elevate quarterback play, it ain't been there in 2 years. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's still in there somewhere. I don't know if he needs to take a sabbatical. Maybe he needs to go on an excursion and learn from Sean McVay, and then he'll be a good coach again. But it ain't fucking there anymore, man. The offense sucks. Let's be real about it. The way it's going, everybody's going to get fired or replaced on the offense. There's really no point in bitching and moaning about that. Those guys aren't going to be here much longer. And the guys who are the rookies, they're not the problem right now, right? Like Errol Fannin got a drop there. He's not the problem. Like, Isaiah Bond's not the problem. Even Dylan Gabriel, I thought in that game, he was fine. He played well. He's not the problem. He almost threw like 5 interceptions in that game.
An absurd amount of balls directly to Steelers that they just didn't want to catch.
Well, that's what happens when you ask Dylan Gabriel to make plays for your offense, right? He's not that kind of quarterback. So not really going to sit here and bitch and moan about the offense. I know everybody's angry about the offense. Everybody wants somebody fired on the offense. It's probably going to happen. If they don't beat Nerdy Guy this weekend.
I cannot wait for Browns Dolphins. I am so excited.
Yeah. I can wait.
It's the resistible force meeting the movable object. It's going to be awesome.
It's just going to piss me off that they do nothing defensively, which brings me to my real pet peeve of this game. And let me bring this screen over here so I can look directly into this camera, because I got some things to say about the defense. This is fucking pathetic, man. 2 weeks of pathetic football from this defense. And I've heard all the excuses, by the way, Jared. Oh, well, you can't expect them to be lights out all the time. Hey, man, what do you expect them to hold everybody to 10 points? Not everybody, but I was hoping that they could hold Carson Wentz and 3 backup offensive linemen to 10 points. I don't think that was an unreasonable expectation. Also, this week, hey, maybe you're not going to hold the Steelers to 10 points, right? They've put up points this year. Could you maybe not let them score 80% of the fucking time they get the ball?
It would have been higher had the field not been complete shit and Boswell, almost hurt his knee on the field goal.
Yeah. It should have been so much worse. Honestly, we're not even talking about the first half where the Steelers are just like getting in their own way. The only thing stopping the Steelers from putting up 21 points in the first half was Pittsburgh Steelers. Browns defense didn't do fucking shit to stop them. And I was bitching about it on the stream. People were like, oh, Quincy, you're being too hard on the defense. They only have 9 points. Why are you being so mean about the defense? And then the second half happened. Steelers don't get in their way. They just have a free run through all these points. Has it ever looked that fucking easy for you, Jared, watching this Steelers offense?
I talked about it on Believe in Steelers afterwards, and I shit you not. That was the most stress-free game I've had as a Steelers fan since Ben retired. The result was never in doubt.
You're relaxing. That's what we do. Best defense in the NFL. Oh, it's easy. DK Metcalf. They had 1 wide receiver.
They did.
They had 1 wide receiver. And I got to hear this defense talking about we the best in the world. We the best in the world. We the best defense in the NFL. We elite. We elite. We elite. They can't stop old Aaron Rodgers. They can't stop Carson Wentz when it matters the most. Myles Garrett, shut the fuck up.
Oh, you took the words out of my mouth. God damn it.
Forever. I don't need to hear it. I don't. 2 straight games, 2 games you got blanked. I got to hear about how Broderick Jones blanked you. It's Dan Moore all over again, where you're just letting some guy who has no business blank you, right? Like, we just seen this with Armarius Mims. Like, come on. What the fuck is your problem here? And then you got the nerve in the press conference that you had 2 tackles, no pressures. You're the best defensive player in the world. We look at you every day. We see that you are impossible to stop, right? It is physically apparent that you are better at football than all these other guys. You get to the press conference and you want to throw the offense under the bus when you ain't done shit in 2 weeks. Well, what the fuck is that? Then I got to hear everybody make excuses for you. Oh, well, Quincy, he's just frustrated that the offense isn't good. I'm sorry. Isn't Myles Garrett trying to hold himself in that same esteem that guys like Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, Ray Lewis, the greats of AFC North defensive football? Did I ever see Ray Lewis sit here bitching about Trent Dilfer or Kyle Bowler ever? Nope. Oh my God, Kyle Bowler can't score. That means I can't pass to pass rusher because I'm not motivated. Shut the fuck up. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of the stank ass attitude from this defense. Your offense sucks. You know what? Good. Now you get to prove that you're the best in the world every week. That should be your mindset. You should be excited to prove to everybody just how fucking good you are instead of rolling over because you're mad that Dylan Gabriel's not putting up 40 every week. I'm so tired of it. Don't call yourself the best in the world until you have a season where you do what needs to be done from the best in the world, right? The best defense in the world don't give a fuck about the offense. They're not sitting there bitching about the offense during the defensive meeting. They're not sitting there bitching about the offense in the press conference. If they lose 3-0, you know what those defenses say? Shouldn't have gave up the 3.
Yep.
That's what the mindset needs to be for an elite defense. You just want to be a cute defense. That's what y'all are. Just y'all look good. Y'all look like y'all should be good. But at the end of the day, you're harmless. You're harmless. You are harmless to Carson Wentz. You are harmless to Aaron Rodgers. Didn't touch him, didn't rush him, talking about putting Aaron Rodgers in the graveyard. Put yourself in the fucking graveyard this week. Like, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. How pathetic is this defense right now, given the expectation that they have? And everybody's going to tell me, oh, the defense is, but they're not that solid. Don't make a big deal out of nothing. Look how talented this defense is. Look how much we've seen this defense do already this season. You telling me you can hold Joe Burrow to fucking 70 passing yards, but you can't stop Aaron Rodgers? You telling me you can hold Jamar Chase to 36 receiving yards, but you can't cover the Steelers' one fucking wide receiver they have out there? No Calvin Austin. They have Roman Wilson out there.
Roman Wilson had a catch in this game. All the boxes were being checked.
All of them. All of them.
Connor Hayward caught a touchdown.
It was a meme. It was a meme. Just fucking pathetic. I can't believe it. Just sad, pathetic football. The leadership in that building, if you don't respond to this week with embarrassment, and you should have responded last week with embarrassment, flush it all down the fucking toilet. I don't care. Myles Garrett's going to have to stay because he's still Myles Garrett. I ain't tripping. I ain't about to trade Myles Garrett, nothing like that. But Myles Garrett going to have to stay, but he can't be the leader, okay? He can't be speaking for everybody anymore. He's not that guy. He don't want to be that guy. He doesn't have it in him to be that guy. He needs to just sit back and let other people lead the team and shut the fuck up during his press conferences. Okay. And you know what else bugged me about this? You know why fucking Myles had the nerve to say something about the offense, even though he got blanked? I feel like Jarrett, deep down, he knows this answer too. Because he knew that he was going to get compared unfavorably to TJ Watt in this one.
Well, the question that was asked is like, hey, how do you feel about, being able to see TJ Watt pin his ears back and rush the pass rusher be a good pass rusher and rush the quarterback when the team's up? And he's like, oh, yeah, it must be nice. And I'm like, all right, dude.
Yeah, he's more worried about TJ Watt than he worried about getting his team to a dub. He's more worried about his legacy than he's worried about getting the team to a dub. He's more worried about, how this looks or being LeBron James, where the fuck's going through his mind. He wants to sit there, talk about, I want to play for the Commanders. Please shut the fuck up.
That's my biggest thing, Q, is like he pretended to give a shit about winning for a couple months and, did the whole thing during the Super Bowl week and talked to anybody with a microphone about playing for any other team. And then he got offered $40 million a year and said, actually, I think Kenny Pickett rules. I'll be a Brown. I'll stay with the Browns. Like,
I don't mind you for taking the money, right?
Dude,
okay,
I don't either.
Yeah.
That's fine. $40 million a year is $40 million a year, but don't come bitch and moan when the offense you knew wasn't going to be good doesn't play well.
Exactly. That's my point. You take the money. Okay, cool. You need to be Mr. Program.
Yes.
After you take the fucking money. You need to be, we're going to get in there and fix it. We're going to do what it takes. I'm going to work with my young guys and get them not misdirected and all this. You can't be Mr. Must Be Nice.
Yes.
You need to listen to Drake.
You can't take that much money and still be a diva.
Listen to Drake and cry in my room. It's crazy.
I'm so tired of it, bro. The woe is me attitude from this defense. Like, they're not fucking part of the game, dude. Like, they didn't give up 23 goddamn points to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, they didn't let them just drive down the field 7 times.
I'm now just picturing like Myles Garrett laying in the middle of his bed, listening to Marvin's Room. Just
it's not fair, man. Shut up, bro.
That's pretty funny.
Okay, I got another thing to let go on. Who's the fucking idiot that scheduled this game in Cleveland? Because you choose, right?
Yeah, you choose.
After London, you choose, and you said to yourself, You know, it's the perfect game to play after an overseas. The game historically we haven't won since 2004. The game that literally nobody in this locker room has experienced a dub in the regular season. The game that has gotten like 8 coaches fired. The game that always is very strange, even when the team's good. Let's do that. And also, hey, let's pair that up with a Mike Tomlin bye week. That's awesome, right? That's what we should do. That sounds like the great way to get on track after a 12-hour fucking plane ride. You idiot. You idiot. Everybody who signed off on this week is an idiot, right? Andrew Barry, if you looked at that and said, no, that looks good, idiot, dog. That was stupid. Kevin Stefanski, if you looked at it, yeah, that looks fine, you should know better. You're a fucking idiot. This is so stupid. Why did we do this to ourselves? You know what? The bye week would have been pretty good. I would have preferred being on bye. Okay, being on bye, then play Pittsburgh. Let them play somebody. Let them play the fucking Bengals on Thursday Night Football. Then get them. You know why? Why did we choose this week? Was the midweek bye? Was the midseason bye important? Does it fucking matter when this team's getting a bye week? By the way, we suck. It doesn't matter when our bye week is. It doesn't matter. Week 8, we're gonna get the bye week in week 8 now. Ooh, yeah, it's gonna be such a boon for the rest of the season. We're gonna be at the point where we're gonna be looking at Francisco Mendoza charts instead of fucking our games. That's how we're gonna be. It doesn't make no fucking sense, some of the stuff that we did to lead up to this moment. But yeah, ultimately very disappointed, not just in Myles Garrett's leadership. He's the idiot that decided to say some dumb shit in the press conference. But let's be real here. The leadership on this team is cruddy. Why are we having all of these procedural penalties? Why are we having all of these miscommunications on protections, right? Joe Bitonio, you've been here 14 years. You should get these guys together. Make sure they're not fucking this up, right? Like at some point, enough is enough.
Derek Harmon had a rep where he threw Joe Bitonio out of the club, and it was pretty great.
Yeah, look, Joe's not that good anymore, but at least he knows how to be where he's supposed to be. You can teach that to somebody. Like, I don't understand how these problems are still persisting to this day. Denzel Ward, like, where were you all day? You know, why are we letting Tyson Campbell take your work?
I was wondering that. Why is Tyson Campbell following DK Metcalf and just getting torched?
So much.
Yeah.
So much. Why? Why are you not accepting that challenge? Why are you not saying in the meeting room, no, coach, I got that. That's
Don't
me.
worry, I'll take Scotty Miller.
No, you out here on the backside covering Scotty Miller, blowing that coverage and then pointing that fucking Grant Delpit. Great leadership on this team, right? Just only thing I was happy with was the rookies in this game. Those are the only people who wanted to fight. Everybody else made me fucking disgusted. If I don't see anything different in this Miami game, I'm over it. I'm so fucking over it. I watch the tape, I get madder. I'm over it at this point. Like, this defense is good. They're talented. They could be great. But if they don't get this fucking thing about them where they just cry about the offense all the time out their system, do you know what they're going to be in 3 years? An underwhelming defense that can't get it done at the clutch moments, because that's what they are right now.
Yeah.
You could beat the Browns at the end of the game. Nobody fears this defense at the end of the game. Y'all fearing it? Were you afraid of this defense after the first half of this game, Jared?
Oh, dude, I wasn't afraid after the first play because Arthur Smith, that mad son of Arthur Smith. I talked all week about, dude, throw the ball more on first down. Comes out, does a play action design throw to Darnell Washington, gets 36. I was like, oh yeah, this game's done. This is they won.
Let Darnell Washington just run up and down the field, who looks more and more like a left tackle as each day goes by. Right.
You look at side-by-sides of him from Georgia to now, he's definitely put on at least 30 pounds. Dude's massive.
More than 30, dude.
He's ginormous.
Yeah,
Chunky.
He can drop back and set an anchor now.
He was physically imposing before getting drafted. Right now, like, my God. And like I said, like after that first play, like going into the game, I was like, man, you know, this could be a game where, you know, everybody's talking about this streak. You know, the Browns haven't won in the regular season in Pittsburgh since 2003. This could be one of those games where it's like, oh, okay, streak breaker. As soon as that play happened, it's like they're going to win this game.
No, as soon as that play happened, it confirmed everything you know. Oh yeah, this is the Pittsburgh game in Pittsburgh. This is going to be weird. We are going to blow it. Right?
Yeah, and there were times in the first half where like Aaron was a little bit sporadic. He overthrew Darnell on a pass, which is hard to do. He's 6'8". Like, all right, let's calm down a little bit, Aaron.
He overthrew DK on like a wide open one too, right?
There was a 9 route that they sent DK on a play action, and he put too much air on it and underthrew it. Had he put a little less air on it, DK probably would have had 2 touchdowns. And so they're winning 9-0. It's like, all right, it feels like this game's pretty safe. The under was safe, by the way. Shout out to the under and all the bettors who bet the under. And once the second half got started, we saw a little bit of vintage Aaron. He had he was scrambling to his left, did a little flip pass to Jalen Warren for a first down on 3rd down. And the touchdown pass to Connor Hayward, dude, was like 2011 Aaron stuff, where he's running to his right, is directing people with his hands. Connor sees it. And for as much crap as I give Connor Hayward, great job by Connor Hayward to make the catch through, I don't know, literally the ball just going by the fingertips, and Connor brings it in. Great throw, great catch by Connor Hayward. The touchdown to DK was a double move on Tyson Campbell, right in the breadbasket. Right now, Aaron's on pace for 34 touchdowns, 10 picks. Tremendous stuff. DK right now, 19 catches, 4 touchdowns. He's not putting together big quantity games. He's not having 10 catches for $130. He hasn't had a game like that, but over 20% of his catches are touchdowns. He's averaging 19 yards a catch. That's why you got DK. He's not putting up ginormous stat padding games, but every time he touches the ball, something big happens. And that's what you want in a number 1 receiver, especially in this offense. Pat Queen, Sonny, PQ, my God.
He showed up.
Dude, so PQ over Roquan, not a meme no more. It's just the reality, is it?
He is legit playing like an all-pro. And after last year, when it was very up and down, there were some very good moments from PQ. There were some very bad moments from PQ. The first 5 games of the year, he's looked awesome. So that's been a really good development. They got Joey Porter back in this game. He played well. Defensively, they didn't allow a touchdown. They held Dylan Gabriel to 4.3 yards per attempt. They very much said, we're not going to get beat over the top by Dylan Gabriel, and wherever he throws it, we'll be there to make the tackle pretty quickly. The Browns didn't have a play of 20 yards in this game. The longest play they had was 18 yards. So dominant performance from the defense. Just really happy with everything that I saw. Like I said, most stress-free game I've had. I have 0 complaints. And you know what? I praised Mike Tomlin once. I'll praise him again. Hell of a game. Great job. If I'm going to, complain about Mike T as much as I do, I got to praise him when he does a good job. He did a fantastic job of not playing with his food. The Steelers are a better team than the Browns. They went out. Go ahead.
You know how bad the Browns had to play for Jared to be this fucking positive about the
Steelers?
Steelers?
I know, right?
I feel great. I feel great. And here's another fun stat for you. Over the last 3 weeks, AFC North.
Nice thing about Connor Hayward.
I said a nice thing about Connor Hayward.
He's fucking ashamed of himself. He told about Aaron Rodgers. He turned back the clock and turned it back to 2010 and threw a touchdown to Connor Hayward. And y'all let that shit happen. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. And what's even crazier, the AFC North over the last 3 weeks is 2-9, and the Steelers have the 2 wins. It's pretty great. I'm feeling good. Like I said, I'm nervous.
This is a bet, Jared.
Okay.
If the Steelers do not finish the season first in the AFC North, you have to rock a Connor Hayward jersey. You have to buy a Connor Hayward jersey.
Oh my God.
And
Can
wear
you even do that?
AFC North top.
Can it be just a jersey shirt? Those things are expensive.
Yeah, jersey shirt is fine.
Jersey shirt is fine.
Good fucking luck finding a Connor Hayward.
It'll have to be a customized one.
It would have to be a customized one, which is too much money.
I mean,
something.
You're
think
putting
they'll
a
win it.
padding. Yeah, right now the Steelers are putting a padding.
No. We got to make him put it in his background or something like that.
Oh, hang it on the wall.
No, he got to get a Connor Hayward bobblehead. I'll pay for it.
Official apology to Connor Hayward.
I would. He blocked me on Twitter. I can't apologize to him.
You got to get a shirt that says, "Please unblock me, Connor. I'm sorry,
God.
Big Daddy."
And you know what? Like I said, fair enough. Because every time that dude messed up, I was like, Connor fucking Hayward off the field. Jesus.
Like
God.
me before Halele.
Yeah, basically. But I'll praise him when it's due. It doesn't happen very often, but damn it, what a catch by Connor Hayward. Like I said, man, I'm very happy.
The Browns need to watch this video if you're a Browns player, and look how happy Jared is. And I haven't remembered Jared being this happy.
Dude,
I am
the happy as Jared right now. They were just high-fiving and slapping it up after that shit. Oh, yeah.
Steelers fans couldn't be happier. We got priests and rabbis singing Kumbaya together in the streets. Blind men are seeing. Paralyzed people are walking.
You got Juan Thornhill talking shit to you. Like, it's just embarrassing right now. Come on, man. Have some fucking pride. If Nerdy Guy does a fucking victory run on you, just
after what Tua did
down, buddy. Move to
Especially after, every time
else.
Tua gets in front of a microphone, he says something even more insane than the last time.
You let Tua go up there, this is why we trust in our program. It's just like just stun on you and all this. You let Tua and them boys come in here. I don't want to hear anything about what needs to be. We could get rid of Jim Schwartz today too. Like, don't tell me about what we need to preserve because we are underperforming. Our efforts pathetic. And what we see from our best players is setting the worst tone because Myles Garrett's been non-existent for 2 straight weeks, and it don't seem like that bothers him that much.
If Corporal Caprice wins against Cleveland, we got to start having some serious conversations. He wears capris. I've seen it.
Okay.
Why we acted like the last time these two teams played, they ain't beat us with fucking Tyler Huntley.
Oh, they did win that game, didn't they?
So I don't know why even Browns fans have confidence rolling into this game. We are the easy part of the schedule. There is no easy part of the schedule. We are the. Do you think Rutgers has an easy part of the schedule? No, it's all.
Can you play the Titans?
Yeah, we could be Cam Ward's first win or whatever the fuck it would be for him. Like a second win of his career. It could happen. We aren't above losing to anybody. Did you not watch this on Sunday?
I did. I was disappointed with the defense.
Score, and now we're not playing defense.
Oh, by the way, Nick Herbig had a great game as well. 2 more sacks for him. He's got 4.5 on the year.
He's putting salt in that wound.
He's top 10 in quick pressures in the NFL right now as well. Dude isn't just a very good
Jared.
Dude isn't just a very good edge rusher. Like legitimately, Nick Herbig, one of the best just pure pass rushers in the NFL right now. It's awesome to see. TJ Watt had a couple pass deflections at the line of scrimmage. He contributed to a sack. He had a pretty solid game overall. Derek Harmon had a really nice game. I'm just going through my Rolodex of dudes who played really well. Oh yeah, I can't not shout out Broderick. They're obviously they helped. They had Spencer Anderson come in and a lot of the jumbo sets to help chip with Miles. But there were a few plays, and you go back and watch the tape on it, specifically on the DK touchdown. Miles was put on Broderick Island. Milk carton Miles. We'll start calling him whenever the Browns come to Pittsburgh. We can't find him.
Embarrassed. You let Broderick Jones put you on an island.
Yeah,
it's pretty great. I was pretty happy about it.
Okay, so Ace, I'm gonna not to this be disrespectful, but
how do you let that happen in your Myles Garrett and you don't have the embarrassment to just not say anything in your press conference?
Don't have much to say about this one, Sonny. Good win for the Steelers. They're taking advantage of. I think the Bengals and everybody else in the AFC North has been 0-3 in the last couple of weeks. They're doing what they need to do to take control of this division. So it's a big win for them.
Okay, so I know we have a bunch of super chats. We'll get into it. We're gonna preview the game.
We can get into them real quick, Sonny. I can give a few minutes over. It's okay.
You sure? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so super chats here. If the Browns could potentially get a 3rd round pick for Sanders or who's okay.
If anybody, Sanders was taken with a 5th round pick. Why would somebody trade a 3rd for him?
Jared, you have no idea the ridiculous bullshit I deal with every day with these Sanders people who think you're going to get a 3rd round pick for somebody who nobody wanted to draft it until the 5th round.
People here says Tess Johnson is also Bo Nix's brother.
I ain't going to even get myself in trouble. Let's move on to
Bo Nix's family adopted Tess Johnson, so they're adoptive brothers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sardis here says, Grats, Jeremy, James, Franklin, fire. Is Tomlin next?
No, he's not. That's one of those weird things too, where it's like, yes, like I'm happy James Franklin, the football coach, was fired, but like James Franklin, the guy, is like an A+ human being. So I do feel bad for him in that regard, but it was a move.
$80 million?
He got $50 million to sit.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, completely get it. Completely get it.
He will. Penn State will still be paying him to coach Vanderbilt next year.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Vanderbilt's actually pretty decent, so they're probably not going to go back.
Yeah, no, Vanderbilt's ranked. He won't go back there. I don't know where he'll go. Virginia Tech is the big rumor one. Right now.
Yeah.
Nah, it's too much pressure to actually care there. You know what I mean? Go somewhere. James Frank should go somewhere they don't give a fuck. You know, Purdue.
That's what basketball school.
Yeah, I mean, basketball school with Maryland.
No, people love the quarterback here, the coach here, Loxley.
Loxley, okay. What's the other black and gold
Kentucky.
school in like one of these power conferences? They all
Iowa?
have. No, not black and yellow, black and gold. Like
Wake Forest?
Wake Forest, there it is. Yeah, just go like to Wake Forest. Like every power conference has a school that wears black and gold that nobody gives a fuck about.
If you turn Wake Forest into like an 8-4 football team, you're beloved.
Yeah, you're the man.
There you go. Oh my goodness! Here says $40 million a year should be enough motivation for Myles Garrett. He was against Broderick Jones, most sacks allowed this week, and did nothing.
Steeler fans were like crying so much about Broderick Jones, and Myles did nothing against him. And that's not the first time this has happened. Like let's continue.
Silly Dan says, as a Browns fan, 100% co-sign everything Hughes has said about this Browns team. No notes. Seeking King of the Sea says, John Haribaugh owes me a sandwich, chips, and soda. We'll be talking about him soon. Oh my goodness!
Out before you, yeah.
Oh my goodness! He's like glorified left tackle at tight end. Got more receiving yards than Jerry Jeudy. I'm tired of the Browns. I'm going.
Oh, here another. I mean, Jalen Ramsey in this game had more sacks than T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett combined. So that was another fun little tidbit that took place.
And then, oh my goodness, says Sanders' chat was just to trigger
All right,
Q.
valid. That's valid.
Okay, we got there. Appreciate every super chat. Okay,
Well, I can't wait till we finally just play him so we can just know what the fuck that kid is, so I don't have to hear all this dumbass speculation about.
I think once they get to Tennessee, it'll be Shador versus Cam. I think that'll happen at that point.
Oh yeah, it's like Magic versus Bird. Can't fucking wait. Ooh.
Okay, so we usually stream Fridays. There's a Thursday game for the AFC North, so we'll go here and preview.
Scared.
Yeah, here I'll give you the floor. It's the Bengals and Joe Flacco, the nightmares of Tomlin. Go ahead.
I'm nervous just because historically speaking, I already talked about it. All time, Steelers are 14-21 on Thursday nights. They've never won a road divisional game under Mike Tomlin on Thursday nights. I think they're 0-6 in road divisional games, 1-5 in their last 6 Thursday night games. The only game that they won was one that they squeaked out against Will Levis. The pushback that you could go with there is that, all right, especially with the last 6, look at who the quarterbacks were. And that's a valid argument. And I get that. So maybe there's something with, having Aaron Rodgers in this situation that will certainly help. I hope so. And last year against Cleveland, obviously the snow globe game was very chaotic because of the weather and whatnot, but a game that they still probably should have won. So I'm going to try to be as optimistic as possible, but with the history of the struggles on Thursday night, I'm going to be very weary of this game. And with Cincinnati, I mean, they're going to be playing as loose as possible. I mean, they've lost 4 straight. They've got next to nothing to lose at this point. With Pittsburgh, all the pressure's on them. Like, they are the team that's expected to win. And sitting atop the AFC North, you want to be able to give yourself as much of a cushion as possible before certain guys get healthy. Obviously, Baltimore's on the bye. Once they get back, Lamar will be back. Kyle Hamilton will be back. They got a relatively easy schedule once they get back. Although the Bears won't be an easy game, but they do have some very winnable games after that. And so you want to get as many wins as possible in games against teams that you should beat, regardless if it's a short week or not. They're the better team. You still got to worry about Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Joey Porter was asked about it today. He said, yeah, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Like, those 2 dudes, you got to worry about them. So if Joe Flacco has one of those Joe Flacco games that we know he's capable of doing, where he just goes off for whatever reason, has a few like just air mails down the field that work out, then they could be in trouble. This is something that they can't take lightly. Mike Tomlin clearly knows that with Joe Flacco, his clear admiration for him. So it's a game that talent-wise, they should win. Historically, over the last 5-6 years, they haven't won these games. So that's where my nerves come in with it. I would love to pick them to win. I probably should pick them to win. So I'll do it. I probably should. I'll do it very hesitantly.
By a point?
They're 5.5-point favorites. I'm going to say the Bengals cover. I think it's going to be close. So I'll say somewhat low scoring. Actually, you know what? No, I think this would be somewhat. If I said Joe Flacco's going to have a Joe Flacco game, this would be a game where there's actually some points. So we'll go like AFC North high scoring. I'll say 24-21 Pittsburgh. I'm not confident.
21.
They're the better team. They should win. Hopefully they do and can exercise a lot of these demons that have haunted them on Thursday nights.
Okay, Ace, what do you think is going to happen in this game? Jared, by the way, if you need to go, we understand.
Oh, I don't listen to what Ace has to say.
Yeah, this is a must-win game for the Bengals. I think if you don't win this game, the Joe Flacco trade was for no reason. This is a game where you're going against a divisional opponent, AFC opponent. You got to take advantage of this opportunity that you have right now, and it's at home. Like if this were on the road, I wouldn't be feeling like the Bengals would have a great chance. But with Joe Flacco, with this being at home, with your backs being up against the wall, this is it. These are games that are going to determine whether or not Zac Taylor is the head coach remaining with this team. You're going to have statement games that come along the way. This is a game that you need if you want to buy time for Burrow. If you lose this game, I just don't see them being able to climb from up out of this and get back to it. And this is a perfect opportunity for them to get a big win, go into the bye, get more time for Flacco and those guys to get confident and gain more knowledge of the offense and things of that nature. But defense is going to have to come out here and play. Aaron Rodgers and this offense played well in the last game. They've shown flashes here and there. You're going to have to make sure that – and that's going to be a big one too. Like I just talked about Cam Taylor-Britt. One of the few good matchups that he's ever had has been against DK Metcalf. He's going to have to try to get something going back against him. You're going to have to try to slow down the Steelers' offense. Defensively, you're going to have to try to keep TJ Watt from getting to the quarterback. You're going to have to be able to protect Joe Flacco when it comes down to it. And you're not going to be able to have any kind of turnovers in this game. They were turnover-free in the last game. They're going to have to force turnovers if they can, which is going to be hard against Aaron Rodgers because historically he just doesn't throw interceptions like that, right? So offensively, they're going to have to be consistent, and they're going to have to try to come out of here with a win. I'm going to take the Bengals in this one because it's a must-win game for them. I think, like Jared said, I think it will be a close game, but something has got to give for this team because after losing 4 straight, what was the point of making this trade if you weren't able to try to pull out a win here or some kind of wins that you can try to get here? So I'm going to take the Bengals in this one, although, like Jamar Chase said, they're going to try to raw dog us and get us up out of here.
Dude, that was a crazy line.
That is what they are coming Thursday to do. You cannot let that happen, dog.
I did a quick news write-up for that for the Sporting News, and that's what I put in the headline. I was like, oh, God, I can't. I was like, yeah, Jamar Chase says Steelers will, quote, want to, quote, raw dog us. So I'm like, all right, yeah, sure, bud. That's exciting. Like I said, I do have my worries. Like I can see it now. Like in between a segment of Andrew Whitworth and Ryan Fitzpatrick having a Skyline chili eating contest, they're talking to Joe Flacco after like an upset win, and I really don't want to see it. I really don't. They just need to go in and take care of business. If it's
close, I gotta hear people in Cleveland act like they didn't want to bench Joe Flacco 3 weeks ago. Oh, why do we even do that?
That has become like the most annoying thing on Twitter every Sunday. Like Baker balls out, and like 9 trillion Browns fans are like, "We had it so good."
Oh, it's not like 20.
They're also laying in bed listening to Marvin's Room. They're with Miles listening to Marvin's Room in bed.
I want the team to fix problems, not sit in them. Like it just I'm so tired of all the fucking crime.
So I'm well, Ace, are you finished, Jay? Sorry, I didn't want to.
Yeah, I'm finished, bro.
So,
by the way, Joey Porter's reaction to that quote was hilarious. He was like, "Yeah, that's crazy." Well, he's right.
Joey Porter might be the funniest guy on the team. Like every time he talks, I have a nice chuckle. He's very funny.
He's like, it's definitely crazy, but in a way, he's correct about the goal.
what I think about this game is similar to you, Ace. This is a game, and I said last week that the Flacco trade was going to be hard to beat the Green Bay because it was so quick, right? But as I said earlier, you see it trending up. That offense trended up. So that's good for this game. Like you see positive signs going into this week. Also said earlier, as me and Ace have invested here, we think we can still make the playoffs. I think both of us think there's an outside chance of making the playoffs for both of our teams. As of right now, the only path to this, it looks like it's to beat the Steelers. That's it. And then beat each other, right? Like either beat the Steelers, and then if it's the Ravens, beat the Bengals twice. If it is the Bengals, beat the Ravens twice, right? That's the only potential path, and hoping the other team beats the Steelers too. That's the only path right now possible to making the playoffs. That being said, that makes this game, like A said, a must win. Now, that they lose, can they make it? Yes, but then it's almost a mountain. Like, it's an AFC loss. It's against your division right now, and it's the team that is first that you're trying to climb to beat. Right? This is be the same thing for the Ravens when the Ravens play the Steelers. Similar thing, right? They might not matter by the time they play with the Steelers. We'll see where the record is for the Ravens, but for the Bengals, the Steelers are 4-1. The Bengals are 2-4, Ace, right?
Yeah, we're 2-4.
Okay, so you win, you're half a game closer, right? Plus you beat them, right? So now if you beat them again, all you need is for them to get a 1 or 2 game stumble here and there, right? So that is important, right? For you as a Bengals, for the Bengal team. This is the game. Zac Taylor, this might be your coach keeping your job or not, making sure that they win this game. Joe Flacco, look, the problem is with Flacco, this is the concern that I have with Flacco. Flacco will push the ball. That's the good thing. Flacco will try to make play. That's the good thing. But as I said to Quincy when Flacco was there, and Quincy knows this, then Flacco, all of a sudden, for no good or apparent reason, he would throw a pick for not even pressure. It's like he's fighting.
Like, yo, let's shake this shit up, bro. Let me throw an interception real quick.
Yeah.
Like,
And then I don't even, some of the ones I don't even understand. What are you doing? There's no pressure. There was nothing.
He did that shit the last time he played on Thursday night against the Jets in 2023, where he was like,
so many times.
Yeah, where he like they were up by like 28. He's like, hey, bro, pick 6 right here. Let's keep this shit interesting.
And the problem is the Steelers are that team this year. The team that all the balls go to their defensive backs, like all the picks. Every single one, all the fumbles.
So many last week, though.
I'm hoping that they dropped a lot. I'm hoping they make up for it this week and catch like 3. That would be great.
They sacrificed Dylan Gabriel's 4 interceptions to get 5 on Joe.
I would love, that is a funny thought of like Jalen Ramsey, Deshaun Elliott, Joey Porter, Mike Tomlin all standing in a circle with candles in the middle of them, just saying something in a different language no one understands, that are sacrificing all their interceptions from week 6 to have a bunch in week 7.
Football inside the circle.
Yeah, like a little voodoo doll.
They come up. It has said you cannot intercept little men this week, and then just walking off like, all right, we're rituals for next week. Cool. I'm gonna get the old man.
But that's what worries me, Ace. Like if Joe Flacco can stay put and no picks, the defense keep playing that way. Now the Steelers last 2 weeks offensively look better, but before the last 2 weeks, they were a shaky offense, right? Can they make the Steelers look like that shaky offense? And can you be turnover free? Because previous to the last 2 weeks, the Steelers literally, Jared, you can correct me if I'm wrong, literally have won because one turnover here. I mean, the turnover margin for the Steelers is crazy, yet they win by 1 possession, minus the last 2 games.
Yeah,
they win by 1.
In week 1, they had the fumble recovery on the kick return that kind of turned the tides. Week 3, they had 5 takeaways, and still it was a close game. Minnesota, they had a couple takeaways. So they've been very good when it comes to the turnover margin, and it certainly helped them. There are games like against New England where it should have been much more of it shouldn't have been that close. The offense just couldn't really take advantage of them. But if they do get turnovers in this game, which, I feel like they will, got to at least get some sort of points off of them. So if they can do that, then I feel pretty confident in what.
And that's the thing, right? And that's what I'm saying.
Before you continue, let me get out of here. I'll be back later on in the week. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Talk to you later.
Take it easy, man. Appreciate you here. So that's the thing, right? That's what concerns me about this game, Ace. Can Flacco, Taylor, Flacco, if there's a one-on-one matchup with Chase, yes, go feed him, force feeding. I don't even care. Now, if they had the safety over the top, you have to be careful. because Flacco likes to float it out there, and that's where he gets in trouble. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I want the Bengals to win because that brings the Steelers down a little, and then if we win next week, we're all closer together. If the Steelers win, yeah, the Bengals, yeah, they're closer to me, but that means the Steelers gap keeps increasing. I don't know what to make. Thursday nights favor usually the home team. Forever has that happened. So I'm gonna go with the Bengals by 3, but I'm not confident. I'm not confident just because of that. Flacco turnover. Can Flacco keep it clean? Can Flacco not have turnovers? If he doesn't have turnovers, then I do think they have an actual good chance. If Flacco's here throwing picks, it's gonna be hard because you're asking a lot now about the defense. So, Q, what do you think?
I think whatever happens in this game is going to probably piss me off. Like, from being honest,
There's no winning for you.
No, like if Joe Flacco beats the Steelers, then like I'm gonna have to deal with people doing the stupid. Well, should we have benched him? I was there, bro. Everybody wanted to bench him. I remember I suggested in week 3 maybe we should have benched Joe Flacco, and everybody was just so fucking pissed at me when I said that. So I'm not looking forward to dealing with people just immediately jumping ship and being hypocritical at that point. I also am not looking forward to like, let's say the Bengals win and they stop the Steelers defense. Steelers offense. It's going to piss me off. I'm like, oh yeah, so they're not unstoppable. And if the Bengals lose, then the Steelers win, which always pisses me off. So, not fun for me. Look, it's a Thursday night game at home. And I think the takeaway from the Bengals game is that second half, they were on the right track. Now, again, football's not linear. Just because you have success at the end of a game does not guarantee that you're going to have success at the start of the next one. But I do think that'll carry them off some good momentum for this Thursday night game, since the time between it is just so short. They'll have some confidence in what they're doing. And yeah, I think Joe's going to turn the ball over for sure. I think you can still win, though, when Joe turns the ball over. So, yeah, I think the Bengals will win this one. It's a combination of, look, Pittsburgh's not really that good. Like, they weren't as good in that game as the score would suggest. I thought that Cleveland had a chance to win it, pretty late into it. Like, Pittsburgh really played with their food. They're not executing at a super high level right now. I think the Browns played so poorly defensively that it's kind of foiling them into a false sense of security. So, yeah, I think that the Steelers can be got. We know that they're terrible on Thursday night. Mike Tomlin was all up in his feelings about it. So, he's feeling the pressure of that Thursday night game. I think the Bengals will be able to get this one off on them.
Okay. Let's talk about the Ravens this week against the Rams. Most people will tell me that wasn't embarrassing. And look, to be fair, they were.
The Rams were so bad in the first half.
Yes, but this is an example of your coaching losing you the game. Multiple ways. We get 4th and 1.5 or 4th and 2, and you're gonna make Cooper Rush throw a deep ball. At that point, because it was in field goal range, take the field goal. And by the way, defense played really good. The corner, the secondary was there. You force into a 4th and 3, and you're rushing two players. You're rushing 2 players on 4th and 3. Stafford had the day to just throw that. The coverage was good, but you can only cover so much. You cannot touch these receivers, right? 4th and 3, you're gonna rush two players. You drive down the field with Henry. Henry had a good game, rushing, gashing. Your first and goal from the 1. Let's do
Sonny,
the
was it that Ricard? Is that really the?
Oh no, our Lord and Savior part Ricard's still not in. But first and goal from the 1. Let's do tush push. You know what? I'm not even gonna hate it. Fine. Oh, let's do it again. What? I'm sorry. That was in 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1 for the 1. Tush push. Don't get it. Let's do it again. Derrick Henry brought you all the way to the 1 yard line. Okay. 3rd and goal from the 1. Let's do it again. Boom. 4th and 1 from the half yard line. Now let's get creative. Let's put ourselves in shotgun or under center. Let's tell them we're going to run the ball. They collapse everything and we cannot get points. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. It was so much failure from coaching. And then Harbaugh's here pissy. This was the week of the AFC North coaches being pissy. Saying, like, I don't understand why you guys asking me about coaching every week. What do you mean? Now, again, the defense played fairly good. They had 2 bad, and the one touchdown was after a Cooper Rush pick. Another thing, Cooper Rush is not working. The only reason why you're putting yards is because on the running side. Hundley comes in with like 5 minutes left, and then he drives it down, but he doesn't score. But there was an injection to this offense. I'm sorry. I actually think defensively they played fairly well. The secondary was good. We had no way to pressure, and for some reason we refused to blitz. And on the other side, Cooper Rush ain't it. I would have cut Cooper Rush. Hundley was fine. Put Hundley there. Perfectly fine. It's sad because that game was a winnable. It was. The Rams were in here killing it. Puka got hurt early on. He was okay. But it was a winnable game that the coaching decisions, it's like Harbaugh gets nervous and beats on his leg. I don't understand. You're a vet coach. What is wrong? Like I legitimately at this point, I'm here, and you know what? Fox was doing him nasty, and not nasty. Every time we did something we couldn't convert, and you see Harbaugh putting one on his face, like, and I'm like, that's how I feel, dude. That's how I feel. How are you not be able to execute? I don't understand it. I was baffled in this game. It was a game that, again, was winnable. I think you lost the game in the trenches on the defensive side because there's no pressure to be produced. We lost our best pass rusher this year, which is Davius Robinson. He's been playing okay. He's not a world beater. He broke his foot, I think, in early 3rd quarter. So he was out. So you say, okay, now we had just Fenoy. Ojabo play 50% on the snap. And Mike Green, and that's it. So no blitzing, no nothing. Against the run, we did decent. So were they positive in this game? Yeah, defensively. Defensively, we didn't look anemic, which we have been looking in the previous games against a decent team, good team. But again, coaching decisions, that's not gonna change. You're not changing your coach. It was frustrating because that game was there that if your coach makes different play calls, play decisions is the word, decisions, you could have a chance because there was the run decisions, then you always felt like you were going to lose that game. That's all I have to say. Q.
Yeah, so the Ravens are truly finding out what it feels like just a little bit to have been a Browns fan. Like this, I was watching this one and I was like, oh, this is a old school Browns game where like nothing happens on offense. You have no hope at the quarterback position and you're praying for the backup to play because maybe he can get a spark going. Now they did get Derrick Henry going in this game, which was important because he had 2 very lackluster games before that. So nice to see him going. My big question here is that because they've benched Cooper Rush, right? Like that's it. That's it for him, right?
Oh, no. Harbaugh said that he was still QB2.
Like QB2 behind Tyler Huntley or QB2 behind Lamar?
Behind Lamar Jackson.
Okay. So, I don't get. I've tried to be patient here with the Cooper Rush thing. Like, what was the vision with this? I thoroughly do not understand this decision to sign Cooper Rush to be the backup quarterback. Sonny pointed out, right, it doesn't feel like whatever bunch of Ravens are out there are being put in a position to be successful. It doesn't feel like the Ravens are getting the most out their talent right now. And yeah, defensively they were better, but it wasn't such a dominant performance where I'm like, oh yeah, they fixed things, right? Like it was just like, oh, you were better, but that might have to do with the Rams just not playing that good, right? So, West Coast team beat you at home on the road. Usually not a great sign there. There's some problems there in Baltimore. Look, Lamar's going to be able to mask a lot of that up when he comes back, and I still think the Ravens have a chance to do a lot this season. But boy, oh boy, have I never been more confident that this team is going to fail in the postseason than I am right now. Like Sonny, if you guys make a run and get back into the postseason and, maybe even win the division, do you feel confident after you watch this? Like, because what this is screaming to me is, oh yeah, if they don't get a great Lamar game, they're not that good.
Yeah. So this is the thing, Q. Unless there's changes in the next week or so, trade. And even though I criticized Derek DeCosta, you have a tough decision. You can say, let me go buy some decent pass rushers that might be in the market or defensive linemen to go all in, but we're still 1-5, so it's still uphill battle. Or you say, you know what, this season might be over. Why just mortgage next year, right? And if we had a decent record, I said go buy everybody, do what you have to do. The problem is, even if we go on a run, as you're saying, it's the decisions that are being made here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say we go on a crazy run and we are doing what Ravens sometimes do, which is beat up on opponents, right? Like we are actually like spanking people around. But the next game that is close, that's when a dumb decision will come up. That's when the coach dumb decision comes up, and that's when you lose. So yes, would I have faith that Harbaugh will not lose us a game? No, I will not have faith.
All right, yeah, that's all I got.
Ace.
Yeah, man, I think defensively the Ravens played better in this one. They also were able to take advantage of Puka Nacua going down in this one. This is one where they could have snuck out, I think, a win, but because they chose to kind of go with Cooper Rush, and then Harbaugh had that stupid quote that was like, my plan was to play both quarterbacks. This isn't college, dog. This isn't college.
My plan was to play both quarterbacks, but I didn't play one of them until the very end of the game.
Yeah, that was
my quarterback had like 60 yards and an interception in 3 quarters.
The whole time while the Ravens were sticking around in this game, I'm like, okay, this is going to get out of hand. And it never got out of hand. It just was that the Ravens offense never was able to score. Derrick Henry bounced back in this one. That they need Lamar Jackson desperately. Lamar Jackson clearly is this offense. I think we've seen that now, which we kind of figured that, right? But it's very evident now that whoever they put in at quarterback cannot get anything out of this offense, cannot get any of the points. And it's crazy because when Lamar's on the field, they can score 20, 30, 40 points easily. When he is not there, they have struggled to score a touchdown. So I think that's one of the issues there. But, they just needed to get into this bye. I'm just not buying the whole they're going to storm back from 1-5 because, the Panthers are 3-3 right now, dog. I wouldn't have. My whole strategy was pick in Survivor whoever is playing the Panthers. You just have crazy shit that happens in the NFL on a week-to-week basis that you don't see coming. And, if they have one of those happen and they get to 1-6 or something like that, I just don't know where this team is. And now it's kind of hard, right? Because now they can't say we need to fire Zach Orr because they held the Rams offense to a pretty decent amount. So you can't go in saying, oh, let's fire Zach Orr now, even though I still feel like Zach Orr is the problem. But if you would have given up, if it would have been like 38-3, you can comfortably say Zach Orr, deuces, you're out of here. Now he kind of did one of those things that Zac Taylor does where it's like, oh, he showed you a little bit. maybe this is fool's gold. Maybe we're gonna buy this and think that we can build off of this momentum coming out of the buy. And I think that that's a mistake. But hey, it is what it is. But
you almost wanted to get spanked so they can fire Zac.
So that they can get him out of there. You really want to get him out of
yeah.
there. You really want to get him out of there and throw somebody else in there, because then everybody's gonna get that. What do they call it? Like that interim defensive coordinator, interim coach bump, where everybody's like, all right, we got to tighten up. Let's try to turn this thing around. So, you wonder what's going to happen there. But obviously, when Lamar gets back, the offense will be better. But can they play complementary football? That's what they've struggled to do, it seems like, on both sides of the ball. Similar to the Bengals, when they've been there offensively, the defense hasn't been there. Now they're there defensively, the offense hasn't been there. So, we'll see. It's going to be interesting from the Ravens. We're going to have to see how they come out of this bye. But, yeah, this is going to be their last run, I think, with Lamar. And a lot of things can go different ways. We'll see how this plays out. But I think if, this is supposed to be the year. This is supposed to be the year that they're supposed to
not anymore.
Make that run. And it's clearly not going to happen. So changes are going to have to be made here at some point. But at first, you got to see how it plays out. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, how things hold up. But, I think they gave a great effort. But again, they're 1-5. So, just like the Bengals are 2-4. If they give a great effort, if the Bengals give a great effort Thursday, it won't matter. We'll be 2-5. So, you got to win games at some point. We'll see what they do when they come up out of this bye.
Yeah, we're definitely coming to the lighter part of the schedule. But again, you're 1-5. As Q said, you might be the team. The people are like, oh, we're playing the Ravens this week. Yeah. We're playing the Ravens this week.
Ravens without Lamar. I mean, I would be looking forward to it, right? Like, they not like that without Lamar. Like, it's clear that's where the heart of the team is, and that kind of should tell you what you should be doing if you're the Ravens, because it look like it's about that time, man. It look like it's about that time Lamar need to walk into Eric DeCosta's office and say, hey, son, we need to make a move here at coach. We need to go ahead and get on with that, man. I don't know who they replace him with. I don't think it's going to be who everybody wants it to be, right? Everybody's going Brian Flores. I know Sonny wants Brian Flores. But Eric DeCosta doesn't seem like a hire Brian Flores type. Eric DeCosta seems like he going to hire like a special teams coordinator or something.
Nah, I think Eric DeCosta will hire probably
Zac Taylor. Yeah.
No.
No, the Ravens and the Browns could do the funniest thing ever: swap coaches.
Pick up a power offense, and that's probably what he will do.
Imagine that: John Harbaugh in Cleveland, Kevin in Baltimore.
Zach Orr as the interim head coach. I would love to see that.
No. They go play musical chair. You get Zac Taylor in Cleveland. We get the Browns coach here and John Harbaugh in the Bengals. You do the whole swap.
The Bengals are going to switch it up. They're going to hire a new head coach. It's going to be a defensive guy like Robert Saleh, and they're going to bring in to run the offense. They're going to bring in to run the offense, Ace. Brian Callahan.
No. We might, and that's what I'm worried about. I'm thinking that they're going to bring Callahan back on some kind of consulting role, and I am not for that.
Oh, you're not ready for that life?
No.
He was your OC, right?
I was never a fan of Brian Callahan.
But he was your OC, right?
Yeah, he was, but Zac Taylor still called the offense. I don't know why we have an OC, dog. If you're not going to let him call his offense, shit. Zac Taylor's the OC as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. The thing is, with this we can finish. John Harbaugh had a press conference yesterday where he was like, I'm just blessed. And he's very religious. And he's like, I'm just blessed that I have an owner that just believes in me, and then he's here with me.
He's playing the sympathy card.
Yeah, I was like, come on,
religious sympathy card. That ain't saving you, dog.
He's just to try to keep his job. Boy, he got no shame.
That ain't saving you, dog. Andy Dalton tried that card too. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah, you gonna be in Bible study with the owner and shit. You gonna be like, I'm still firing you, buddy.
I'm still firing you, my brother.
Yeah, they asked
You
him.
got millions of dollars by being empathetic. Like,
Yeah, they asked him like, do you think the owner's frustrated? He's like, well, I haven't talked to him, but sure, he's probably frustrated. I'm frustrated. Nah, come on, dude. John Harbaugh's press conference are cringy. I hate them. Hate them all. Hate them all. At this point, I'm
everybody
so
on
done.
the North is just tired of their coaches.
Yes. The only person that was tired, well, Ace has been tired about Zac Taylor forever, but
For
Jared has been
years.
tired forever about Tomlin, but now he's vibing.
No, he's vibing because the Browns defense is fucking pathetic this week. Like, it's just letting Jared out there sipping Mai Tai is fucking relaxing right there. You better beat the shit out the fucking Miami Dolphins offense if you're this Browns defense. I don't want to hear anything, dog, until y'all do something like that.
So if the Dolphins score 28,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you guys win for some reason by 20-31,
I mean, I'm not going to shit on a win. But,
so
like,
you won't be mad at the defense for allowing them to score?
I'll be mad at the defense, but it won't be as angry as I am after a loss, because they did ultimately win. Like, if they make a play to help them win the game at the end, but they fuck up in between time, I'm not going like, okay, it wasn't a great day, right? You gave up a couple big plays, whatever, but at the end of the day, you did what you needed. If it's one of those, yeah, I got no problem with that, right? Because you did what you needed to win. But if it's going to be a game where you give up 28 or you give up like 25, but you just let them go down the field at the end of the game, that's the shit I can't stand, right? Like, it's when you give up these points in the context around it, no offense, Ace, that really bother me, right? Like, it's Carson, like 21 points in a vacuum ain't that big of a deal, right? But Carson Wentz getting a game-winning drive going 80 on you, oh, that's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
The Steelers getting 25 in this game. It's not that big of a deal. It's not even 30. The Browns haven't given up 30 since the Baltimore game, right? I should be happy. But it's the fact that you let them score on like 6 of 8 drives. That's the unacceptable part, right? And that you had no interest in getting this game back where it needed to. You didn't really fight. So we'll see. Hopefully they deal with the jet lag from whatever they were doing in London, and they come out this week at home ready to fight, because what we saw last week was just pathetic, and I can't continue like this. It just can't. Nope, not acceptable. Cannot set the message that kind of an effort is acceptable.
Okay, well, that will do it for this show. Come back Friday. We'll have to recap this Thursday night matchup in the AFC North, and then we'll have to preview just one game. Browns against Nerd Boy. So until then, see y'all later. Peace out.